Notts County Talk, we are live, episode 46 of the Pavis Perspective. We're going to carry it on. We're going to carry on and we're going to keep going. Next season, we'll be in the 90s, all the way until about episode 500 and we're in the Premier League. What do you reckon, Will? Do you think that's doable?
It's definitely doable. And I'm buzzing. It's episode number 46. That's my lucky number, my favourite number. So,
Is it? What an honour. What an honour to have you on. We're going to have to stop meeting like this because we've been on the channel together a few times recently, haven't we?
A bit too much, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit too much. Explain that badge because it's not a Notts badge for people.
This badge, well, this is my Saturday team bit of welfare. Shout out. We got promoted last year, but we lost at the weekend on our second game. So, we need a bit of time to settle in, but we're doing all right.
Fair play. Before we look at it then, we've got our poll as usual. It's back. It's 70 days since we did the last Pavis Perspective, which was a review of the season. Not the review we wanted to do, but hopefully by the time we do it next year, well, the end of this season, it's going to be one that we definitely want to be reviewing. It says, if you had to make a choice, would you go starter or dessert? Now, dessert has a question mark next to it. That's not meant to be a leading question. I just mistyped it. So if you want a starter or dessert, Will, don't tell me now, but have you had a vote?
I've not voted yet, but I've got a vote in my head. I know what I'm going for.
Fair enough. So we've got all that out of the way. I've told you about the poll. I'm getting a few comments in. If you have any questions for Will and I, just put them in the chat. We'll try and answer as many as possible. New season, new Pavis Perspective. Will, how excited are you for the season?
I am buzzing for the season. I think someone said it after you or George said it after the Grimsby, one of the first videos back. That Grimsby moment, that after that game, it was heartbreak. I was distraught. I hated football. I hated everything about football. 2 days, well, not even probably 2 days. 1 day later, the next day, I'm thinking, right, buzzing, ready for it again. Couldn't wait for the season to start. Been watching a lot of preseason. I feel like I'm more invested this year in preseason as well for some reason. I think because we're switching managers and things like that. We've had quite a bit of turnaround in the team. I think, yeah, it's built my excitement up a lot. So yeah, I'm buzzing for it.
I've never had a pre-season where I'm this excited for the season to start. Like, not that I can remember anyway. I know we're in a lower league than we have been in previous pre-season. We've been in League 2, League 1, but I'm more excited about this pre-season than ever. Honestly, yeah. I think we've done things really, really well. I was looking the other day, and this is no dig at teams because it might work for them. We've signed, I think it's 6 players. Is it Adebayo, Rawlin, Scott, Langstaff, Baldwin, Bajrami, and Austin.
Yeah.
Chesterfield have signed 12. Personally, I think that's too many. I mean, yeah, I think it's 6 or 7 for Wrexham. I don't think you want to be going above 8 or 9, personally. I think 12 is too many. So I think we've done really, really well. If we signed another couple, yeah, as long as they massively improve the team, I think I'll go with that. So let's have a look at some of your comments. Callum, always with us on the video, but this one's sort of dedicated to you, Callum. This is from Matt. He said, whatever the first question is, answer is chicks and hat-trick. We will get that chicks and hat-trick, Callum. Promise. Will, you must know about Callum's chicks and hat-tricks.
Yeah, it's definitely happening. It's going to happen one day. It's going to happen.
I know. We put it to Chickson on the video we have with him, and honestly, I swear, one day it's going to happen, and Callum
He's not retiring until it happens.
Not retiring. If I imagine that, I think I'm going to call it now, Wrexham away.
That'll be the game to do it.
Chicks and hat-trick at Wrexham away. That'll be class. Right, let's have a look at some more of your comments. Will, is Langstaff an upgrade on Wootton? For me, he 100% is. Different player.
I think it's hard to tell. He's not proven at this league yet, is he, at this level? I mean, he looked sharp in pre-season. What's that, 5 goals he scored in 6 pre-season games? Yeah. I think that's what I saw the other day. So it's quality. He looks like a full-on finisher. And people have said this before. Wootton did score goals, but he's not a goal. He wasn't a natural finisher. I think if Langstaff gets similar chances to what Wootton got last year, he's gonna score a lot more. So, is it an upgrade in all-round play?
Yeah.
In terms of goals, I think it will be.
Yeah. But I think it makes us better. I've said this throughout pre-season to you, to anyone else in our group on the channel. He changes the way we play.
Yeah.
And it makes us way better. I said it the phone in. I don't know if it was with you or it was with Colin. When he was doing the runs over the top, it was opening up so much space for Ruben. So it's going to make Ruben a better player. He doesn't have to play in that tight space. I dare say it would have made Cal a better player because it would have opened up so much more room for Cal, but he's gone now. So is it an upgrade on Wootton? Look, Kyle Wootton started for Stockport and they were 3-0 down after 35 minutes. It can't be a coincidence, can it, Will?
Can't be a coincidence, no. I was shocked by that, though, to be fair.
Yeah, nearly came back, though. They reminded me of last season when they were losing games and they'll just turn it around. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Some more comments coming in. We'll try and get as many as we can. We'll kick off with a few of your questions. Max says, how's George doing? George is doing okay. I'll be back on the channel fairly soon. This is a contentious one. Will. From Ellie. Do you think we need a new goalkeeper, either a loan or permanent transfer, or do you feel happy and confident with Slocum and Brooks?
It's a good question. It's for the Brooks situation. I'm a bit confused on. I don't know why he hasn't really been put out much in pre-season. I don't know what the reasoning is. I'd have thought we'd have seen a little bit more of him, especially against like Baseford or something. I know that other lad came on who was from somewhere else, can't remember where, but I don't know why Brooks hasn't played. This sort of leads me a little bit to the Maidenhead game on the weekend. I like their keeper that they've brought in from Dover. I would have really liked him. That Andre from Dover last season. I think he would have really, really suited us quite well. Some people were saying his footwork's not the best and his passing out's not the best, but that's what brings Slocum down a lot. I think his shot stopping and his coming out for crosses and things like that is pretty good. But from what I've seen this pre-season, I know it's a bit thinny, but he can't. The dog's going crazy. He can't really play it out from the back. So I would bring a goalkeeper in, yeah.
I think, these days as well, if you can't play out from the back, you want to play out from the back and the first person to play out from the back can't necessarily do it.
Yeah.
You're in a mess.
Yeah.
Straight away. Like, I can already see that poor distribution could cost us 3-4 goals a season, 5 goals a season. You play the bigger teams, Wrexham, you play Chesterfield, they're going to capitalise on it. So I really like Slocum, like you said. And I saw Richard Notts County Stats, I think he put something in, made something for Tom Williams on Twitter, and it was Slocum has like the 3rd highest shot save ratio in the league, which is really, really good. But if you look at it on percentages, I think we're going to be one of the teams that concedes the fewest shots in the league. So yes, it's good that he's saving those shots, but I don't know. I listened to the York game on that hospital radio. We nullified York completely, bar a couple of moments. Do we need a keeper? A really good question, Ellie. Yes. Are we ever going to get one that was as good as Patterson? No. Does it always work bring them in on loan? No. Yaros, did you rate Yaros?
He had that incredible game against Stockport, didn't he? But his distribution wasn't all. I don't think he was all that compared to Patterson.
No. So loan keepers are a funny one. I'm not entirely sure. Would we?
I wouldn't want a loan because I think keeper's a position you need over a few years. You need to cement your goalkeeper. You don't want to be changing keeper every year or every 6 months. So fair be it, albeit these Premier League Championship keepers might be good with their feet and things like that, and we're getting them on loan, which is class. But we're not going to have them for more than a year. And I feel like a keeper is a real anchor in a squad. So we need to find a keeper that's going to be with us for quite a few years from now that we know we can trust and develop. So I think Brooks, if he has got he obviously, something clearly isn't right with him yet, but hopefully they can develop him into the keeper we need, I think, hopefully.
Yeah, I agree. I like Brooks. He should have definitely had more time pre-season unless something was wrong. But like you say, we're definitely looking at a keeper because I'm never going to remember his name. Guy came on the second half against... I
can't remember his name.
Against Basel. Didn't Sheffield Wednesday allow him to come to us or someone? And then
it might have been Wednesday, yeah.
We had to return them, yeah. A few people saying it was Will Jaskalainen. I remember. I thought it was. I heard the rumours. I thought it was Will Jaskalainen.
I thought it was when we looked on Google.
No, I got about 4 or 5 people convinced it was him, and then it wasn't. But if it was Will Jaskalainen, we'll walk in the league. So, yeah, a few people here. Aaron says we need a new goalkeeper. Chris says Brooks was looking really good in pre-season and didn't get any more game time. Another one here, we need a new keeper. Slocum's distribution just isn't good enough. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I like you said, chopping and changing. For me, it didn't make a massive difference last season, but it got a bit ridiculous with the goalkeeping situation because we had Patterson, he went back. We got Patterson back for a game, and he was loaned. He went back, and then it was he's gone back, but he will be back with us. And then the Sunderland keeper's situation got worse, and he stayed. And then Yaros came in, and Yaros was the first choice, and then Sam Slocum came back in just before the playoffs and just stayed in. I don't know. I don't know. And I've never massively slated Slocum's distribution, but this pre-season's got me more worried. It's just not quite there. Whether it's because Luke Williams is like 5-10% quicker than Birchnell, 20% quicker play than Birchnell. I'm not 100% sure. So, yeah, keep those questions coming in. Lee says, watching Austin, he could be a replacement for Roberts. Yes, 100%. I think he's already a ready-made replacement. A little bit slower, but ready-made replacement. What did you... I'm sure the most we've both seen of him will have been Forest, right?
Yeah, most saw him at Forest. He didn't do much against Baseford when I saw him against Baseford. That was his first game, wasn't it? So fair enough, and it was, he was all right. Forest, I think he almost ran the show. I mean, everyone played well that game, but I thought Austin was class, and I think there was a bit more pressure placed on him because Roberts had gone. So I think now it might do him some good that he knows he's got the boots to fill and that he's the man that people are looking at. I don't necessarily think we should bring anyone in that position yet. I think we should hold out. If we don't need to spend the money, save it. If we need it for January, we need it for January. Or we're not even need January. We can go do it any time of the season, really. But I think he's not going to do it instantly. I think give him some time, be patient with him. But I think he could definitely come into his own. I mean, he was Kidderminster's captain for a reason, so he's clearly a leader as well. So once he gets established in the starting 11, he could bring a lot to us, I think.
Yeah, I think we've got more leaders this year as well. Yeah. I think Kyle Cameron is a born leader anyway.
Class.
You've got Austin that, like you say, could grow into that leader. You've got Jim O'Brien that looks like he's having a fantastic pre-season. We'll get on to that in a second because there's a comment I can't quite find it now about Jim O'Brien. We just seem to have a really, really strong side. Well, look at this. Look at the praise.
Yeah.
Look,
yeah,
we was talking sense. And if you've seen this, you're blessed because this doesn't happen often. Like, it doesn't talk a lot often. So there we go. Andrew, evening fellow pies. Andrew, thank you for joining us. We did, after the phone-in, hit 2,200 subscribers, which is insane. So if you're not already subscribed, please do drop a like. Only takes a second. Will, you're celebrating like you caused that 2,200.
No, I'm not saying that. Oh, I was just happy for the channel.
Well, you're the last person on, so you never know. Leaving that impression. Yeah. I want to talk about Jim O'Brien. Starter or rotation?
So can I say? Well, I've already wrote out my team lineup for the weekend. I won't go into it fully yet because I'm guessing you're going to ask later. But him and Bajrami were my two that I'm interchanging throughout in the midfield. I really don't know who. I don't know. Thank you for that. I don't know who I would rather. I like Jim O'Brien. I do like him, and I think his charisma and his passion is great, and for getting us going as a leader again, like we say. But he didn't play much last season. We have had him for 4 years now, and he's not been consistent, has he, throughout the whole 4 years he's been here. So, and he's a bit of a passion merchant, which is why it gets people like me all excited and think, yeah, get him back in. But he hasn't done it consistently, so I wouldn't start him personally.
The thing is that I kind of agree with you. He puts in that performance against Forest, where I'm not even just really saying I'm not saying this to try and rile any Forest fans. Not that I don't think anyone will be watching, but I think he as a player in the position he was in, I think he outshone Ryan Yates in that game. He was the best. But I wouldn't say Ruben was central midfield. He was sort of further forward. I'd say he was the best central midfielder on the pitch. So. This sounds harsh, but he'll do it, won't he? He'll do it against Forest, and then he'll probably do it against Maidenhead, and then he might not do it in a few weeks' time at the Halifax game. Do you know what I mean? It just won't be like your consistency, like you're saying. It's not 100% there. Will he be in my team when we name it at the end of the video? Possibly, but Will, you've already gone a bit early with yours.
Oh, no, sorry.
So yeah, will he? Won't he? I don't know. He'll have to wait.
He'll definitely play a part. He'll play a role this season massively.
I put a tweet out last season. Do you remember right at the start of the season? I said, put your three takes for the season. Replied to the tweet. I had Notts to break the attendance record on mine. 1 out of 1. Sick. I had Notts to score 80 plus goals. 2 out of 2. Okay. I think it was 83. And I had Jim O'Brien to win Player of the Season. Because he had a very good end to the last season and a good pre-season. Didn't quite happen. I'm not going to predict that this time. But that's the sort of caution we've got to have. Like, there could be players like, I'm not saying a certain striker's name because there's no way I'm going to say this, but there could be players we're excited about that don't quite hit the highs. I'm not on about Mitchell. So
yeah, of course you are.
Yeah.
You sure not about Lewis Knight?
Lewis Knight. I love Lewis Knight. I thought Lewis Knight could be a class player. Lewis Knight. Watch Lewis Knight. Lewis Knight, right? One of my takes this season, he'll score 10 or more for Gateshead.
No chance.
Who's scoring more, Lewis Knight or Kyron Mitchell?
No, Lewis Knight will get 2. So
Kyron Mitchell will get nearly double figures as well.
I hope Mitchell does it. I really like him. I hope he does it.
Yeah. Paul says, watching Jim O'Brien's last video, this is his swan song, so could come out all guns blazing. Definitely could. I think it. Yeah. He's like you said, passion merchant, but he's the kind of player that if you get 5 games to the end of the season and it's tight, you definitely want him. 100%. There's one more thing I wanted to draw on that someone said earlier. Will Langstaff has been confirmed fit. Absolutely massive. How many is he scoring?
How many is he scoring?
20
plus.
What
was the last season? What was the National League's 20? Was it 28? Did Mullen get 28?
Yeah. I mean, Tash Manga would have got 40. I genuinely think he might have got like 38, 39.
He's not. The thing is with Langstaff, which is good in our squad, we've got other players that will score goals. Ruben will score goals. Scott will hopefully score goals. So Langstaff will score goals, maybe. Mitchell might score a couple. So it might not all go through Langstaff. If he can get 20 plus, I'll be happy. As long as other people like Ruben are getting 15 and whatever. Austin gets a good 7 or 8. I think people are going to be chipping in from all angles. I think if he gets 25, I'll be buzzing. But if he gets 20, decent.
Yeah. Andrew says 25 plus if he stays fit all season. Aaron says Langstaff will be 30-ish for the season. The guy's a machine. Now, I know there was a lot. I know I've just said it was massive that he stayed fit. But I also was confident in Scott as well. Like what I've seen of Scott so far, not necessarily got the match fitness because of that illness he had. But from what I've seen of him so far, I think he could have stepped in. Will we see them in a 2, though? I don't think we'll see Scott start the season in the starting lineup.
No.
Well, that's kind of giving away part of my lineup prediction. But like you said, I can see Ruben getting the way he's going, the form he's in. If we keep him, I can see Ruben hitting 20 goals.
Yeah. I
could see Langstaff hitting 20 goals. I could see Scott hitting at least 10 to 15. Then you've got Austin, could get another, could get high single figures, 8, 9. Yeah. Kyron Mitchell, 45, 50. So, Charlie says he thinks Scott's going to start. Possibly.
Was he?
Oh, Scott could, you never know. It could happen.
We can go attacking against Maidenhead. We can. So, potentially.
Yeah. We'll have a talk about how we think we're going to set up in a second.
Yeah.
This is a good one from Max. Out of interest, how do you fit Langstaff, Scott, Ruben, Austin, Palmer, and O'Brien into a team? My answer is you don't. I think one of Austin or Scott misses out. Possibly. If we're going to play this 5 at the back, you can't. I'd say 4 of those. The first 4 are attacking. You can't fit all 4 in. I don't think.
You could play 4 at the back and then play like a 2-2-2, whatever.
Yeah,
4-2-2-2. But you can't get them all in. It's gonna be. We'd be very vulnerable, I reckon.
Yeah. Because Austin played deeper in the base for game you talked about, and that's where I know it was the first. But that's where we didn't see much of him. No. When he was more advanced, we see better. So. I think, Max, I don't think you can necessarily fit them all in. Personally, I don't think you can.
But seeing it written out like that gives hope, doesn't it? That the rotation's there. Someone's not fit. Someone else is easily going to come in and drop into that midfield. So it's nice that that's a problem. So it's good.
Yeah. I think it's Chris' comment here. Chris has said, do we need 2 holding midfielders with 3 centre-backs? How attacking our fullbacks are going to be, I don't think we can afford to have someone that's too attacking alongside Palmer.
No.
Personally, I think we do kind of need someone else. Whether that'll be a sign-in or it'll be by draw me, we'll have to see.
We'll have to see for later.
We will. Will, do you want to say hello to Jordan? He's with us. Lovely.
Wow. Driving us down to Halifax, are you?
Yeah. Today. So can we have a thank you to Jordan in the chat? Because that means we're going to have a Halifax vlog. So Jordan has today offered to drive us to Halifax.
Yeah.
So Jordan, really appreciate that. So we've got Jake driving us to half the away games and Jordan just doing Halifax. So
Jordan's not got a car at the minute though. So if anyone can donate or sort of
what's that insurance company that do 1 day insurance?
Yeah, we'll have that.
Jordan will look after it. He will definitely look after it. Just don't ask why he doesn't have a car at the minute. There we go, Jordan. Loves pouring in for you. Right. Will, we predict a Maidenhead. We both predict a Maidenhead to go down. Am I right in thinking you predict Maidenhead to finish bottom?
Rock bottom.
I predicted Maidenhead to finish in that last relegation spot, the 4th from bottom. What do you expect Maidenhead to bring on Saturday?
Not a lot. Not a lot, in all honesty. They've lost some players. So basically, just a little bit of background history. My cousin's got quite a few friends who living around Maidenhead, where Wickham area. So I've got a little bit of info off of them, and obviously they're all optimistic as they would be. You know, they support Maidenhead, but they say Josh Kelly going is a big loss. I mean, 15 goals for them last season is a massive loss. They haven't really brought in anyone to replace that. So their first thing they said was, we need to bring in a striker. That's what they need. They need someone who's going to score some goals. And at the minute, apparently they haven't done that. They've lost Shackelford, apparently, as well, who's gone to Chesterfield. Was quite a good player. I believe he was on loan from someone I think it was on loan from Fulham, or something like that. But he's gone as well, which is a loss. However, they have signed 3 defenders from the level below. And this is what my cousin's friends are all buzzing about. They said the defence is going to be the most important thing for them this season. If they can try and keep teams out, I know it sounds obvious, they can keep teams out, then they'll do all right. So they've signed 3 defenders. Apparently, Kepwa, can't say his name. Kepwa, can't say it. From Hemel Hempstead is a really, really good signing, they've said. And they've signed a lad from Luton and a lad from Oxford City as well. So they've signed some defenders. So they're clearly trying to bolster that defence. And as I said earlier, their keeper, I think, was one of the best keepers I saw last season, or I've seen in the National League. He's big on TikTok as well, if anyone noticed. But he's that Andre lad. He's a real good shot stopper. So it might get a little bit frustrating trying to beat him on Saturday. I think he will pull off some worldy saves. I think he is a good goalkeeper. I don't think it's a fluke. So I think we might get frustrated. I don't think they're going to offer a lot going forward. They've signed that Adrian Clifton, who used to be at them before as well. I have to say as well, apparently he's a Montserrat international and has scored 6 goals for them. So that's one to look out for. But he's 33 years old now, and he has not scored many goals since he left Maidenhead last time. So I think it's like a bit of a romance him and Maidenhead. So he scored goals for them before, scored 21 and 52 for them. So he might be a little bit of a threat up front. But I think it's just going to be, they're going to sit back, defend, low block, and try and keep us out. And they'll probably try and keep a 0-0 and try and nick it from a set piece, I presume. I think they're going to rely heavily on the keeper to pull off some saves. So I don't think they're going to offer a lot of attacking, but I think they're going to try and frustrate us defensively.
It is a game that will suit that Andre in goal, won't it? You won't really have to. There won't have to be much distribution other than kicking it long. I don't think. I don't want to be disrespectful to Maidenhead, but the way we've started the season, it'll all be whether they can weather an early storm. I think we're going to come out, and I've been thinking this for a few weeks. I think we're going to come out absolutely flying. Absolutely flying. I think the fans are going to be so up for it. I think we'll have a flurry of early chances. We'll really put the pressure on. If they can hold out, under Birchall, when teams held out against us, we just couldn't hack it. We seemed to lose our head and then panic, and then can't remember who it was against. It was Halifax. Remember when they went down to 10 men?
Oh, yeah.
And from like 40 minutes, and all we were doing was passing it sideways for the second half.
It was the
We
most
couldn't break them
frustrating
down.
game of the
Yeah,
year.
we couldn't break them down. I remember George next to me was literally like on the edge of his seat, like willing the ball to go forward, and it was left, right, back, and that'll be the interesting thing for me. Do you not worry that, there's always like a cliche, the opening day can throw up some crazy results. Look at League Two, Barrow 3 up against Stockport in like half an hour. Do you worry that this could be one of the we've had a brilliant preseason, not unbeaten as Luke Williams was asked earlier, because obviously we lost that 70-minute first game against Cambridge. But do you worry that we've had a great preseason, fans are buzzing, and then this could be the start, or do you really not see even a fluke result coming Maidenhead's way? Or have I made you doubt yourself?
No, I don't see it. I don't see it. I think it could be frustrating for half an hour, 45 minutes, but I don't see them getting a win. And if we're away at their place, it's a different story. I think then it could be a bit of a trickier place to go, and it could be more of a shock result, because they had some good scores against bigger clubs at their home ground last season. I think the fact we're at Meadow Lane, there's a lot of optimism. I think there's going to be a lot of fans there as well. Got to remember, we sold more season tickets than last year, so I think there's going to be a lot of positivity and a lot of energy in the ground. I don't see any way that they will beat us. I think we will definitely. I think we'll win. I don't see it.
I've just looked when we play them, and it's the 10th of December. I just hope it's not wet and cold and horrible, because I don't know if quite a lot of fans went to Maidenhead away on the last day last year.
So that's a totally different game.
Yeah, that'll be really like crazy game. But I'm looking at their pre-season as well. Let me just grab their pre-season results back up. Their last game was a few days ago. They lost 1-0 to Farnborough. The game before that, lost 3-1 to Hungerford. They beat Potters Bar, but they conceded 3 to Potters Bar. They beat Brentford. Brentford have that Brentford 2 side, don't they?
Yeah.
They beat Binfield and Hollyport, and that's not a pre-season. We've got polar opposite pre-seasons. If Notts were going into this game having lost to Farnborough, you full well know our fans would be from here to here.
Yeah.
They didn't finish the season badly. They beat Grimsby 3-1, second to last game. They drew with Aldershot, who battered us. They drew with Torquay. They drew with Bromley. Beat Weymouth, beat Dover. Didn't lose, apart from Notts, something like any of the final 8 games, apart from Notts.
It's true.
They're a good side. No side in this league this year are going to be absolute pushovers. They're not going to be a Dover in the league this year, or a Kings Lynn, who you can play way below average for 50, 55 minutes and then go and score 4 in the second half. There's no one like that this season.
And we didn't batter them last season when we went away there last game of the season. I know we'd already got the playoffs and whatnot, but we didn't batter them, did we? Cole should have scored 1, and we missed a couple of chances. But they're not an awful team, clearly, because they finished 17th, 18th last season. So there's plenty of teams that were worse than them last season. So they clearly know how to do it. But
I think if even if it got to 60, 65 minutes and we hadn't scored, I don't think Luke Williams would let the players relax.
No.
I don't think he'll let the players relax at 2-0 up in any game either. He'll want more and more and more, and that's really, really good. And I think if we can, like Jordan said earlier, if we can rotate the squad and keep them fresh and fit, I think we're in for a really good season, because I feel like he's the manager that's not gonna, he's not gonna let things slide, and he's not gonna let things go. And I'm not saying Berkshire did do that, but I feel like, don't you feel like players were a little bit, they played a little bit like they were comfortable under Berkshire?
Oh yeah, comfortable. And I think, rumours are that Roberts had a few disciplinary issues, so clearly players thought they could have a bit of leeway and could muck about a little bit. So yeah, potentially. I mean, he was a great manager, but yeah, probably might have been a slight bit of a pushover at times. I think I would not want to get him Luke Williams bad books in his way, to be fair.
Definitely
Rather
not.
get a telling off from Birchnell than from Williams, to be honest with you.
I agree. But football's funny. I spent the whole of the, when Birchnell left, I was saying to myself, well, if the situation's got hard, Birchnell's teams don't, then they wouldn't have had the fight to get through anyway, and then they go and score a 92nd minute winner in the first game. So, all these things, they could unravel, or they might not. Max says Luke Williams has a ruthless persona compared to Birchnell, who seemed nice. I do think Birchnell, not slating Birchnell, had a fantastic relationship with the players, though.
Yeah.
So that's something as well. I'm not saying Luke Williams doesn't, but they each have different styles of management. Before the season even starts and before the trophy even starts, are you bothered about the FA Trophy this year? Or I love the FA Trophy, and with the squad size we've got,
I'd rather not have to play these qualifying rounds in the FA Cup. To be honest, I'd rather get rid of them. I mean, I'd rather get rid of the FA Trophy and just be straight into the first round of the FA Cup. I don't love it, not gonna lie, but I can see it's exciting if you get someone like Alfreton or someone like Baseford or the massive Blid. I don't think we're
in the trophy this year.
I think we're in the Vars. We're in the Vars.
Oh, I'll come watch it at Wembley.
But I don't mind. It's one of them. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a bit of a fickle fan of the FA Trophy. If we get to the quarters and semis, I'll start really enjoying it. I mean, if it's on a Tuesday night, I would go to watch it. I'll go to the games, but I don't love it. If we lost, I'm not crying. Do you know what I mean?
Did you see the Doyle goal in the trophy though?
Yeah. I remember. I was listening to it on the radio.
Oh, listening. Yeah, well.
On the way back to uni. I was on the way back to uni. Cold Tuesday night, wasn't it?
Fair enough. I think it was against Dagenham. I think it was. Yeah. Just have a moment of silence as well for Dion leaving. What a guy.
Can I say as well, Max? Ruthless persona. That is wordsmanship. That is.
You know what? We started to do at the end of the season. We started to give out some star viewers. And I think that vocabulary from Max there, ruthless persona, I think
I'm going to use that.
Star viewer. So,
yeah,
there we go. Right. A little bit more time to vote. If you had to make a choice, you're in a restaurant, you're being pressured. You can only have a starter or a dessert. You don't have time for both. There's no mucking about. Are you choosing a starter or are you choosing a dessert? Put your votes in. We've got 56 votes at the minute. It's a well-voted poll. We've got 85 people watching. We've been up to 95 odd people watching. So the excitement's there for the season. We'll look at the results of that poll after we've done our team. I'm saying we'll play a 5-2-2-1.
Okay.
5 at the back, 2 in that middle, 2 behind the striker, and then the striker up top. What formation are you saying?
Yeah, pretty similar. I'm not going to show you my piece of paper because it's a bit random, but a 5-2-1-2. I'm seeing more Ruben as like a striking role. Give it away, Ruben's playing. But yeah, basically the same.
If you rewind the video, you can just piece together Will's whole team before he said it. In goal, Slocum.
Has to be. We ain't got anyone else to put in.
Unless we bring Pato in tomorrow before the game. Back 3 let's go from left to right. Back 3, what are you going with?
I'm going Cameron, Baldwin, Brindley.
I agree. Cameron, Baldwin, Brindley.
Beautiful.
Left wing back.
Chickson.
I'm going Joel Taylor.
Oh yeah.
I hope Callum's not watching. I love Chickson, but I think it'll be Joel Taylor for this
Chickson
game.
might be watching.
I hope. I'd love that. Chickson, if you're watching, just drop a like and a sub, please. Right wing back. There's a choice here. Are you going to Maine?
Going to Maine.
Going the Maine.
Yeah.
I just think I just got a feeling.
Can I just explain myself for 1 second though? Do you know why I've gone Chickson at left wing back? Because I've put in the main right wing back.
Bit balance.
Yeah, if we need to drop into like a 4, because we're always he does it.
You're a tactical genius.
Sorry, I don't.
So we're differing on. So far, we're only differing on the left wing back. I've gone Joel Taylor. You've gone Adam Chickson. Midfield 2 then. I'll go mine first. Matty Palmer and Bajrami.
Wow. Snap. Exactly the same.
Palmer and Bajrami. I'm just seeing if you. Callum said blasphemy because I've gone Taylor. Just let me know in the chat what you're thinking. What are people thinking?
I like Chris.
I'm gonna have to get this in. So this is it. This poll's gone international. It's gone international. James, that's on the channel, has just messaged me. I know he's watching now. He's messaged me, private message. He said, if I pick dessert, then, well, let's just put it this way. Every time the Premier League restarts, I go to James's and we watch the first game. We're having a curry night tomorrow, Will. coming out on a Friday before the football. Watch the first Premier League game. What is it? Palace Arsenal.
That's the one.
And he's saying I'm not allowed to pick dessert. So we've gone pretty big here, but all will be revealed before the curry night. So we're only different on that. Will, I'm going to have to take you off this channel in a minute. Look at this. Will's still talking sense.
Yeah, if we can give away like
Will's not secret weapon.
Just ring me
I showed you what I can do. If you're getting a bit big-headed, I'll show you what I can do. I can do a bit of that. And we'll silence you.
You can do more than that as well.
I can. I can put music on here. I'll put the music over when you speak. Right, come on. We're losing focus here.
Sorry.
We've got 8 of the 11. I then go for Ruben and Austin behind Langstaff.
Yeah, same. Exactly the same. I'll go Austin, then Ruben and Langstaff up front as a sort of pair. But that whole front three is sort of interchangeable, I would argue. I know Austin's going to sit back a little bit deeper, but he found himself in centre forward positions against Forest quite a few times as well. So yeah. We've got the same team then, except for Chickson.
So do you see Bajrami as a midfielder for the season, or do you see him as someone we're going to interchange?
I think he'll swap. I think if someone gets my politics knowledge is awful. I couldn't even tell you the two people who are going for the Prime Minister role.
It's Chickson and Taylor.
I think he'll swap. I mean, I love a utility player who can play centre mid and centre half. So I think he's going to end up, if someone gets injured in the back three or someone needs a rest, I don't know, Cameron might get injured, whatever. Bajrami will slot back in and then Jim O'Brien will come in or whatever. So I think, a bit of both. See how he gets on.
Yeah, fair enough. Right, we'll do this because Charlie's asked, who would you have on your bench? I'll go very quickly. It's 5 still, isn't it? Ridiculous. I would go Chickson on the bench. I wouldn't have a keeper. I'd go Chickson, Scott, Adebayo roll in, Jim O'Brien, and what's a tough one? Luther. I'm probably missing someone out, but let's get Luther on the bench. No, Vincent on the bench.
I was about to come in there and really,
You're about to tell me off for that.
I would have told you off. I think Vincent definitely.
Yeah, I think you've got a lot of options there. You've got a wing-back option. You've got players that can drop in at centre-back. You've got strikers, midfielders. So
yeah.
Charlie said no Francis. Neither of us have mentioned Francis, and I called him for the dark horse this season. But that's what I mean. If we signed another midfielder, which I say we probably do, need another midfielder to go alongside Palmer. It's just so crowded in there.
I don't really.
I'm almost talking myself into thinking the team is finished if we don't lose anyone else.
Yeah, I agree. Keeper, and that's all I would do.
Yeah,
Vincent. People are sleeping on Vincent a little bit. Remember when he came in last October? When he came in, I can't remember what game it was specifically. I think it was on the FA Trophy. What was it?
He came in Tamworth replay and then straight into Stockport and scored.
He was fantastic, and he sort of fell out of favour again a little bit. But yeah, they can slot in. I'd have him on the bench. Yeah.
Right, Will. We've got to do the score prediction. I'll give you a second to think about that. 64 votes on the poll. If you had to choose, 38% of people went for a starter. 62% went for a dessert.
Oh God.
Will, what are you saying?
It's not even a tough one for me. I'd get a starter all day. I'd get 3 starters over a main.
3 starters over a main?
Yeah, my starters are the best thing at a restaurant.
Big call. You're in the minority.
I know.
What are you going for? What are you going for starter?
Chicken wings. Just like if chicken wings are on a starter, I'll get chicken wings, calamari if it's there, but I can't really afford it normally. And then like prawns. I just have prawns. I'm a seafood guy.
Fair enough. Only bad thing you've said all day.
And I'm shocked. I thought people would go for starters.
I've gone for dessert.
What would you get then?
Of course I have. In a weather like this, big ice cream sundae for dessert.
What, like chocolate or strawberry sort of vibe?
Whatever's going. And you know what, as well, before we go on to the score, You know, if you're getting like a hot chocolate fudge cake or something, got to be ice cream with it. Got to be. None of this custard rubbish. Not having that.
I just think though, like you go for a nice meal, you can get a start. I mean, you can start a starter and a main, and you get to like Morrison's on your way home, and you can just pick up a little nice fudge cake and make your own sort of dessert at home. You can't recreate prawns and chicken wings from a restaurant.
Bag of prawn cocktail crisp before you go out.
Yeah, fair play. Garlic bread in the oven, yeah. Fair.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Cheesy garlic bread in your pocket to have whilst you're looking at the menu. There you go. Chris says rather have starter and dessert and sack the main off. Sack the main off. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with that.
There you go. 3 starters, 3 desserts, no main. Right, score prediction then. Maidenhead at home, first game of the season. Coming into it full of confidence. Will, prediction and goal scorers. Go
on. 3-0. Langstaff 2, Ruben 1.
Ruben 1. I'm going 4-0. And I'm going Langstaff 2, Austin 1, Ruben 1.
Wow.
Let's see what people are saying. Keaton says 3-0, Ruben and Maka times 2.
Yeah, same.
There we go. Max has said 4-1, Langstaff times 2, Ruben and Cameron. I honestly think we're going to be strong at the back this year, so that's what I'm going for. We've got Notts 2, Maidenhead 0. I'd be happy with any victory, if I'm honest, as long as we play well. Charlie says 5-0, Langstaff 2, Austin 1, Bolden 1. Must be an own goal in there as well. Here we go. I've waited 70 days for one of these. 5-1, Chicks and hat-trick, Job and Langstaff. Callum is back.
What do we do when it happens?
I don't know. Just sit there stunned. 8-0, Maka times 8. 5-1, Ruben and Langstaff hat-trick. 6-0, Notts, finishing second in the league. Hope you're wrong. Hope we finish first. And 4-0 from Chris. Will, I want to make sure you're not on the channel for a while because you're getting a bit too much love here.
I'm going on holiday soon. Anyway, I'm going to have to go eat loads of starters.
Yeah, whole holiday starters. Yeah, so everyone seems in good spirits. Will, thank you for coming on again. Everyone loves to have you on, obviously. Ever since your Gareth Bale comment about Carl Roberts 2.5 years ago. Everyone loves it. If you have joined us, massive numbers on the first Pavis perspective of this season. I will be making, I think it's a vlog for the Maidenhead game, so keep an eye out for that. Possibly have some player ratings in there as well. Let's hope for 3 points. If you are going or listening anywhere, let's hope for a great Notts performance. And thank you all for giving up your Thursday nights to join.